The year is 2009. The economy's in the gutter, McDonald's still had the dollar menu, depression hadn't been invented yet, and Paul Blart Mall Cop is in theaters. This is Paul. Everybody say hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
I loved this movie when I was a kid. Seeing him take down bad guys on a Segway and protect his mall from the evil athletic people made 8th grade flipping awesome, dude. Butt cheek on a stick. And he did the whole thing without asking ChatGPT for any help. I don't know how he pulled that off. This man was the first Sigma male, and he protected the mall from all the bad guys without a single Zyn in his mouth or a cherry vape in his hand. He made the Rainforest Cafe and low blood sugar look cool. And he even got the girl at the end. Happy ending, right?
No. 3 months later.
Observe and Report comes out. This is Seth. Everybody say hi, Seth.
Hi, Seth.
It has Seth Rogen as a mall cop who has to protect the mall from bad guys. Hey, wait a minute. Who are you? So we got 2 movies 3 months apart that both star fat white guys pretending to be mall cops who actually want to be real cops who have to defend the mall from bad guys. How did this happen? How are they different? When I started this video, I thought it was going to be that one of these movies just stole the idea from the other. But the more I looked into this, I just kept finding more. More little clues, more little dribs and drabs. It felt like I was following Walter White through the gas station, and I would find his shoes, I found his pants, his socks, his catheter, and then I finally hit the mother lode. In my opinion, both of these movies stole the idea from someone else, someone not even in the game. I went through old blog posts, old articles, allegations from 15 years ago. And I'm gonna be honest, I do not have all the pieces yet. It's kinda like a dirt cup dessert from TGI Fridays. I'm still trying to pick out all the gummy worms. And it all came down to one crew member who worked on Paul Blart that explained the whole thing. That sounds pretty juicy, huh? So stick around for that. But honestly, both movies aren't that bad. I laughed, I chortled, I chuckled, I giggled. And hey, they actually have a lot of differences that make them stand out from each other. Look. Paul Blart has a crush on the makeup girl. Seth Rogen has a crush on the makeup girl. Paul Blart has low blood sugar. Seth Rogen has bipolar disorder. Paul Blart beats up mall robbers, and Seth Rogen beats up teenagers. They deserved it, little punk asses. You know, the more I think about it, Observe and Report kind of feels like Paul Blart's bigger brother. You know, he thinks he's cooler, he's a little edgier. He watches Joe Rogan every day with a vape in his mouth and his high school letter jacket on, even though he graduated 7 years ago. Whereas Paul Blart's more like the adorable little brother that everybody feels comfortable around. He's more popular, he's more successful, he's charismatic. And in the movie, he's more like this earnest guy who really enjoys being a public servant instead of just feeling like a wagey on a Segway. In Paul Blart, the girl actually likes him back. In Observe and Report, Seth Rogen holds her hostage in his little cop clown car until she agrees to go out with him. And he's also got this other girl that likes him, but he doesn't notice her until she wears makeup and puts her hair down. You remember when movies would do that all the time? The girl has like dorky glasses or a bad haircut, and the guys don't care, but as soon as she puts on eyeliner and digs the crusties out of her eyes, suddenly it's all boing. In Seth Rogen's movie, there's been a flasher that has been terrorizing the mall, running around showing his little Rogans. And the interesting bit starts when a detective comes to Seth Rogen's mall to try and find the flasher. And Seth Rogen doesn't like the detective because he wants to catch the flasher himself, even though he has literally no idea what to do besides bark at strangers and pee on bushes. This whole conflict with Seth Rogen and the detective goes on for most of the movie. And it's okay. It all culminates into this massive fight where Seth Rogen takes on like 20 cops with just a flashlight and his massive balls. But then he gets his beat, as you do by the cops, and he gets fired from the mall. But then the flasher shows back up, Seth Rogen literally shoots him and gets his job back. Happy ending. I skipped over a lot, but that's basically the movie. See, now in Paul Blart's movie, he's training this new guy named Vec. Yes, his name is Vec. We all know Vec is a super common name. I mean, spell it right now. Spell Vec. Spell Vec and then spell ICUP. And a few days later, the mall is taken over by the most terrifying villains you've ever seen, including a skateboarder, a parkourer, a bike rider, and a girl. And Vec! Wow, who could have seen that coming? I didn't see that. That was a good twist. And remember how Seth Rogen was beefing with a cop the whole time? Paul Blart is also beefing with the cop the whole time. But it turns out the cop is working with the robbers. Yeah, that was a good twist. I had no idea. Paul Blart stops the cop and Vec and saves the day, and he even dates the makeup girl. Happy ending. Pack it up, guys. Okay, let me make sure I got this straight. The love interests both work at makeup shops. Both guys want to be cops, but they get rejected. Both of them defend the mall and save the day instead of the cops. Both of them live with their mom. Both of them butt heads with a police cop person dude. Both of them have some kind of condition that holds them back from their full potential. Both of them have eyes. Both of them wear shoes. People, am I the only one seeing this? It seems like it's pretty clear cut, right? See, because when I was doing research, I found this. Quote, I was on the Paul Blart Mall Cop crew. Some stuff happened on set that now makes more sense, and I wanted people to know about it. The story going on around the set at the time was that a writer from New Hampshire was claiming that Kevin James stole his script, which he apparently previously submitted to Happy Madison, the company that made Paul Blart, and apparently the studio was so shocked when they read the script side by side that they immediately sent a Sony bigwig to New Hampshire with an apology and a check to work it out in typical Hollywood fashion. I always allegedly maybe knew probably sometimes that mustache was too good to be true. Everyone, this is Alfred. Say hi, Alfred.
Hi, Alfred.
Who the hell is this guy?
In the year 2000, he wrote a script called Mall Cop, which won a bunch of awards, and in 2002, he submitted it to Paul Blart's production company, Happy Madison. But he got turned down because they said they wanted to make things in-house. And then, 7 years later, Paul Blart Mall Cop comes out and makes 183 million big ones at the box office. And Alfred didn't work on the movie. He's not credited as a writer, as a producer, nothing like that. He is not mentioned at all. Quote, when Paul Blart Mall Cop was released last week, it reminded me of the stolen script story, so I poked around online to see if I could find anything. Sure enough, there's a script online called Mall Cop by Alfred. I just read it and it's the same script and the same story. Kevin James just changed Andrew's Mall Cop character from Art to Blart, and changed a jewelry store to a bank. Now, I reached out to Alfred for a comment. I wanted to see what he would say, and he didn't say anything. I don't think he likes me. But here's my theory for how this all went down. Sony, please be gentle with me. I'm just spitballing. All of this is allegedly. Alfred is also a practicing attorney, so maybe he was threatening litigation. Sony offered him the check, and in return he signs an NDA and he agrees not to sue. Something like that. So that's a juicy story for Mall Cop, but what about Observe and Report? As of right now, I have literally zero evidence for Observe and Report copying anything, but I am keeping my peepers open. So if you see anything, I want you to let me know. Please let me know. This is my new hyperfixation, and Paul Blart is now my phone background. But that's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video about Paul Blart, you should watch this one where I talk about the cinematic masterpiece that is Joker 2. It's pretty juicy. You should check that out. You should also go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/sriracha. I have a whole playlist on there that is literally free stuff. It's called Freebies. Click right here and you get all the free stuff, okay? I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.